Hi, I'm Kerry Blaser, the Divine Feminine, reincarnation of Mary Magdalene. Thank you for clicking on my clip. But I want to let you know that I have a free ebook linked below, my 6 Divine Feminine Self-Love Strategies. They will help you transform your emotional wounds into personal wisdom. And I take a multidisciplinary approach. I include the laws of physics, psychology, neuroscience, shamanism, mysticism. I went wild, okay? So men can understand and women can understand. There's something there for everyone because what I learned is when something's true, it's true in multiple places. All right, please like and subscribe and help me distribute my ebook to everyone for free by exploding my channel. Take care. Enjoy the clip. Bye. I love Carl Jung. He helps me understand. How many Native American traditions would interpret dominion? Now, there's not one single one, but we can look at the difference. Lakota, expression kinship with animals, plants, and land. I can't read that one. That's what the teachings include the 7th generation principle. Decisions should consider impact 7 generations ahead. Like when Native Americans went and fought in World War I or World War II, even though they had a very poor relationship with the American government, they knew they were protecting their ancestors ahead, and so they did it because they understand that it's not just about right now, that we're souls having a human experience or souls having a buffalo experience. There's reincarnation, and so they will have their great-grandchildren, their great-great-grandchildren will benefit from their work now, and so they do it. I love that. The Navajo Nation, harmony and balance with the natural world. And in other traditions, like animals are persons or other than human persons. They're relations. They're their brothers and sisters. The earth is not property, but relative. We're relatives. We're in relation with. And so that's why with Manifest Destiny, the American government knew that it would kill 60 million buffalo. That's going to decimate the Native American population. And they also put Native American kids in Christian schools. Oh, it wasn't Catholicism that engaged in pedophilia, was it? Right? Christianity is perfect. I forgot. And then they lost 90% of their population. But today, their population is restored, and America has 500,000 buffalo. Is decimated to about 1,000 or less in Yellowstone. And now we have over 500,000. It's beautiful. So the Genesis statement of dominion would often be interpreted not as rightful domination, but as a misunderstanding of humanity's place. It might be seen as spiritually imbalanced, elevating humans above the circle of life rather than within it. There's the arrogance, there's the narcissism, there's the mental illness. Indigenous traditions are not romantic pacifism. Hunting and use of animals were central, but the relationship was often framed as reciprocity, reciprocity, ritual respect, obligation to maintain balance, not unilateral authority. Like Native Americans would burn the grasslands, the prairie, because that's what brought new life, and the bison loved it. And the roots in the prairie were super deep, and then the buffalo would wallow in the land and create small holes. So in the spring, it would retain water, and there's a whole ecosystem right there for frogs, salamanders, dragonflies. This is how we all work together in relationship with. And when you're present, when you're purposeless and you sit and observe just to learn out of the joy of learning, you can observe all this when you're present, when you don't, I'm doing this now, I have purpose. And so that narrows your viewpoint. You can't see everything. But when you don't have purpose and you sit and you observe, then you're open to taking in lots and lots and lots. How Carl Jung would interpret dominion. Okay, symbolically, not literally. Jung might interpret dominion as an archetypal expression of emergence of human consciousness over instinct, differentiation of ego from nature, and the rise of reflective awareness. Okay, but Western over-identification with domination. Jung was critical of modern Western consciousness for becoming overly rational and detached from nature, and that's femininity. So I'm adding that in, but that's femininity. Judaism, their first week of their Jewish calendar is all about the feminine. The Jewish New Year, then the Saturday, the Sabbath between the Jewish New Year and Yom Kippur, forgiveness, also feminine, is the Sabbath of return. It's the biggest Sabbath of self-reflection. So you start your year with self-reflection, changing your wounds into wisdom, forgive yourself. And then the priest goes in this room for forgiveness, and it's like going into the womb, and there's one veil like separating the hymen. He's the only one that can go in. Do they understand femininity, or are they trying to contain it? It's asking. Indigenous worldview as psychologically integrated. And that's where, the integration of the masculine and the feminine creates wholeness, that creates heart coherence, it creates nervous system balance, creates emotional maturity. This is why integrated is so important. Jung was fascinated by indigenous cosmologies because they maintain symbolic relationships with nature. He might see relational worldviews as closer to participation mystique, a sense of embeddedness in nature, symbolic awareness of interconnectedness. However, he would also argue that full individuation requires differentiation, not total fusion with nature. Sure, you have to understand that I'm a human and I have this role, and they're a buffalo, they have that role, right? So the key framework: literal dominion reading, human nature relationship, hierarchical authority, stewardship reading, responsible